Well, Bobby Shabangu has become the first African to be appointed to the Wikimedia Foundation Board. Shabangu has been an active Wikimedian since 2013. His work spans English Wikipedia, as well as several Southern African languages, Wikipedia, including Siswati and isiNdebele. Founded in 2001, Wikipedia has grown into one of the 10 most visited websites globally, with nearly 65 million articles in over 300 languages. Wikimedia Foundation Board member Bobby Shabangu joins us in studio now. Such a pleasure to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Such a great accolade and a wonderful, I suppose, tribute to you. What does this appointment actually mean for you?
It means a lot actually for me personally, but also for the African continent. It means a lot because it's the first time the Wikimedia Foundation, someone from the African continent is actually appointed to sit on the board of trustees at the Wikimedia Foundation. The Wikimedia Foundation is very, very important, Lian. It decides on very important issues around the movement, the Wikimedia movement, Wikipedia. It allocates funding. It appoints the CEO. It decides on the future of Wikipedia itself. It decides on things like, what's the relationship with us, the wiki, with AI, things like those, So it's very, very, very important.
It certainly is. And also, as you mentioned, it is an important accolade as well to the African continent as well. And perhaps now giving a voice to the continent at the highest level of Wikipedia governance or Wikimedia governance.
Yes.
In fact, help me go back a bit. Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this.
So Wikipedia, it is the platform that everyone knows.
Yes.
That everyone, when you want to search for anything, you can.
Wikipedia.
That's
First thing that pops
right?
up.
Yeah, and Wikimedia, it is the movement itself. It involves the foundation. It involves the people that are editing the platform itself. It involves the other projects that are associated with Wikipedia. Because people know Wikipedia, but there are other sister projects of Wikipedia. So the whole thing is Wikimedia.
Good, important. So I'm glad we've got that out the way. So now we can continue that conversation. And I want to get back to the point of Africa now having a seat at the table.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Because it is important that we do have a representative that is there that can tell the continent's stories as well and not leaving it to others to tell the story.
So this is very important because normally when you look at the internet, right, a lot of Africans, a lot of people everywhere, they are using the internet. But have you asked yourself who puts the information in there, right? Normally people, they just consume, especially here in the African continent, in the global south countries, people consume what is online. Everyone carries a smartphone, everyone carries a tablet, everyone uses a laptop, but they never get to ask themselves who puts this. So Wikipedia gives people that platform to actually add content online for free and to be accessed for free as well. The problem with that is that currently, as it stands, in the internet in general, right, the content is actually dominated by European content and the global north, basically. And so people that are putting the content online are based in Europe and the US. It's a very, very small number of people that are based in the African continent, in the global south countries, right? So, and the people that are making this decision, allocating funding, allocating resources, are also not based in the African countries or in the global south. So for the first time, I'm privileged, to sit in the table. And it's very important because myself, I know issues that beset Africans, issues like data, for an example, struggle with issues like that. I've been a student before when I did not have a laptop, to add, or a phone, to add on to Wikipedia. And it means now that whenever there is thinking about allocating funding, we're going to think, as the foundation that, okay, it's fine. We see these applications, but let us prioritize. We see all of these applications from the world, but let us prioritize the global south countries because of lived experiences like myself. So it's very important for someone like me to see it there.
And it is important. I mean, you've been at community levels. I mean, you were a producer at here at the SABC at which one was it?
Ligwala
Gwala FM.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of our massive radio stations, and you've come from that, and you've moved obviously through the ranks of many other organizations and media organizations in particular. So, but being in this position, what kind of duty do you have? I mean, what decisions are you aware of that are actually going to sit on your desk? Can you have that massive impact that we're hoping you can have?
So, yes, it is. I'll have a very, very massive impact. But the thing is, I'll be working with other colleagues, right? So the importance of me sitting there is that I'll bring a diversity of thinking to the board, right? Yeah, and I'll bring that lived experience to say, hey guys, in the global south, when people say they actually don't have money, they actually mean that they don't have money. When someone say that they do not have cash maybe to buy data or to do a project, that will enable content to be added online, they actually don't have that. When we talk about, for an example, oral citation, or oral knowledge to be included online, I'm the one that's going to be highlighting that. Currently, as it stands, Leon, Wikipedia does not allow content if it's not backed up by reliable sources. Yeah, it does not allow content on Wikipedia if there is no sources, to check whether that content is actually a reliable content. So what's going to be happening is that I'm going to be sharing with them that, guys, there is a whole host of knowledge that is out there that needs to be included on Wikipedia. So basically we're going to be working as a board, all of us, but me being there, I'm going to be bringing that diversity of thinking to the board.
And I'm excited at the prospect of that, because I think it's amazing. But I'll ask you a real question. I mean, we look at where the world is moving, and we look at, the whole basis of Wikipedia. It's obviously one of the most visited sites in the world. We know this. It's a non-profit. It's volunteer-driven. Yeah. But when we look at the world we're living in of AI, and no doubt AI gets its information from you guys as well, but the youth, particularly the youth. I mean, I remember the days when people would say, Google said.
Yes.
The youth don't say that anymore. Unfortunately, they've moved away from that. They don't look at many sources. Yes. They go to one source, and that happens to be ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Oh, Chat says that. Exactly. And they take it as the gospel truth. Yeah. So the day of sort of streaming through lots of articles and perhaps looking at the sources and the links, it's almost gone. How are you dealing with that? Because that's real, and surely your servers must collapse at one point with all of these AIs going into it. But this is a real challenge. We're going through it. The whole world goes through this right now.
It does. It does. We can't really deny that AI is ubiquitous right now as it stands. Everyone is using AI. I use AI as well.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing is, the thing is, Leanne, is people do not understand that AI actually use large language models from that gets its data sets, that trains from
from your
Wikipedia,
information that's out there,
from the Wikipedia, and
with no credit.
With no credit,
and put strain on your servers, I think, is what I was saying before.
Exactly.
And so that is a big problem. But how do you deal with something like that with at like a Wikipedia? I mean, I know you're going to figure these things out as you go along, but I suppose that's the threat that I'm speaking about. How do you deal with that in this world?
Yeah, so the thing is, we continue to raise awareness, about the importance of activating new people, the importance of people actually adding content to Wikipedia, so that AI will know how to use the content that is there, the data that is there. But we also raise the awareness that we are not competing with AI, as Wikipedia. In fact, we are guiding AI, because we are the ones as volunteers. Anyone, anywhere in the world can actually curate information and put it there. But they need to put information that is reliable use sources that are there, that are proven, that are already existing. So we continue to raise that awareness, throughout. We know that the way people consume information is changing.
Yeah,
and it's going to be changing, very much so. But we see ourselves being very relevant because of the human aspect of Wikipedia.
So I want to have a look very quickly, of course, about African context and content as well, and particularly African languages, because that hopefully is something that we can actually see, because these languages are underrepresented.
Yes.
We know this, but the gaps that you see from the outset going in, what are those gaps you're hoping to fill?
When I started Wikipedia, my mother tongue is Siswati. There was only 500 articles on Wikipedia, compared to English Wikipedia, which had at the time 6 million articles. I started seeing changes, of those gaps being closed. Although it's still a huge gap, but now, as it stands, the Swati Wikipedia has around 1,200 articles, which is not a lot, but isiNdebele was not there online at all, and now we have somewhere around 300 articles in isiNdebele, and isiZulu, around 2020 we had somewhere around 1,000 articles, and now we have 12,000 articles. So it means that people out there, they are getting the message, they're actually adding into Wikipedia, which is important, because the information that they are adding, the data that they are adding online, it might be the only data that is available online anywhere. No one is sitting somewhere in Europe that's going to be writing about your surname, for an example, Lian Manas. Are you Zulu Lian or what? I don't know. But no one is going to...
I'm still waiting to find out what my name is.
Exactly. So no one's going to be writing about your history or about anything about you. So it's you who has to codify your own history, your own knowledge, in your own language, which is very, very, very much important.
So this brings me to the point of, and I imagine it's something you would love to see happening, is that we see more Africans and more young South Africans actually contributing to Wikipedia, because that's what's important, is that anybody can open up a Wikipedia page and put the information there. Obviously, it does get verified, as you have said to us, but is that a message you'd like to put out there, to say, guys, if you've ever thought of it, do it. Open up a page and contribute with something incredibly interesting and in your mother tongue.
Indeed. Indeed. That's the message that we're trying to spread, that Wikipedia is free. You can just go there, click a button there, it says edit, and then you can just add, the content in your mother tongue. You can translate from the English Wikipedia to all the other South African languages. They are available, they are there. So that's the message that we're spreading.
Amazing. Well, Bobby, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and just congratulations. So your appointment is until when?
It's 3 years from now.
3 years from now?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So it's already started, and you're in
it's already
for the next 3 years. We wish you the best of luck, and thank you for being the voice for us. It's so important to have voices like yours out there, and for us to be represented on a global stage. It really is. So Bobby Shabangu, Wikimedia Foundation Board member now, speaking about becoming the first African to be appointed to the all-powerful Wikimedia Foundation Board. Well done, and thanks for coming back to your home, the SABC.